I just think the world works better when women are women and men are men. It's like you guys trying to be like us. Why would you want to be like a woman? Women don't like it when men are trying to be women, so why are women trying to be men?
So if you had to break down what a feminine woman actually is in its essence, what would you say it is?
A feminine woman is, most importantly, someone who is...
Yo guys, before we get into the episode, I want to talk to you about our always on sponsor. As you can see here, I've already given it away as Trendsetter London. So boom, what is Trendsetter London? Trendsetter London is a high-end fashion brand doing premium clothing. Like, trust me, this thing premium the Ross, you see it. So make sure you grab a tracksuit, do you know what I mean? Trendsetter London does loads of different items such as tracksuits, as you can see here. They do hats, hoodies, t-shirts, shorts, the whole nine, do you know what I mean? So as you can see on the screen, there's going to be a promo code. Make sure you tap in for a discount. Boom, stay charged up.
The Trendsetter.
Welcome back to another episode of the Energizer Podcast. Energizer Podcast, a podcast that leaves you charged up. All right, I'm here with the two staple hosts you already know, myself, Ty.
Your boy T.
All right, but we're not the main topic today. We got another guest. Sorry, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Who we got?
Hi guys, I'm Bexy. I am an animal rights activist, so I teach people how to look after their body, health and fitness, and look after animals. I also teach women how to be feminine. I do a lot of work on social media, mindset, spirituality, and I also do coaching and mentoring.
All right, so there's a lot that she taps into, boy. Yeah. There's a lot. So what we're going to talk on first, I feel like there's a lot of different talking points that we can touch on. I feel like we should jump into the whole feminine side, teaching females how to be their most feminine self. So let's touch on that. Why did you get involved in that? Why did you get started in that?
Because there are a lot of masculine women, and I just think the world works better when women are women and men are men, and women are just striving to be equal with men when that's not the case. We have different qualities, different benefits to bring to each other, and it's like you guys trying to be like us. Why would you want to be like a woman? Women don't like it when men are trying to be women, so why are women trying to be men?
I'm with you. So if you had to break down what a feminine woman actually is in its essence, what would you say it is?
A feminine woman is, most importantly, someone who is peaceful. Men don't want to come home to arguments and drama. Secondly, dressing feminine. So, you know, how I'm dressed. No, not tracksuits all the time, bonnets, weave all messy and things like that.
There's some feathers today, boy.
Just being like nurturing and caring towards people in general and men as well, and just having a calm tone to your voice, no screaming, swearing, just an elegant manner, and just being like a kind person as well. I think that's important, just being soft and doing feminine activities.
I'm with you.
So me jumping in, I was just saying, let's cut the crap here. You know, we was meant to be in, but we weren't actually in. Little technical difficulty. But I was saying beforehand to you, Bexy, that I find it interesting because you're like, if I'm being honest, you're the first woman I know who's such an advocate for just maintaining her own frame and really just 100% embodying feminine energy. Do you know what I mean? So what's your experience? Like you mentioned before that you have some like trolls, and obviously we all get hate. Do you know what I mean? We spoke about it last couple of episodes ago with Poku. What's been your experience with other women reacting to what you've said, such as like no tracksuit, speaking in a soft tone, no swearing? Like, what does that look like for you?
So do you know what, different platforms for me have a different kind of audience. So Snapchat, lovely, women want to learn. TikTok, the trolls, that's where all the women are, and they're like they comment, they're like submissive with a sick face, or why should I do this for a man should do this for me. And you know, I say like you need to be careful, because when you get to 30, 40, you're going to be alone with no kids, not married, blah blah blah, and they're like, that's what I want, and they're going to realize too late. But they just don't understand where I'm coming from, because obviously they've been brought up to be masculine and everyone around them is masculine. So they don't understand it, but hopefully after a while of seeing my things, they might start to pick it up and see where I'm coming from.
I understand. Don't you feel like it's that an uphill battle though that you're fighting, in terms of there's so many people out there that's got a contradicting opinion to yours. It's like, is there an end goal with what you're doing? Because there's always going to be people out there that disagree with what you say. That's what I mean.
Yeah, so my end goal is obviously not to help everyone, but to help a lot of women, because women come to me every day saying, oh, thanks to you, now I am, or I have done this. And that makes me happy because I want to help men and women. So I'm indirectly helping men by helping the women. Most men do agree with me, and a lot of women agree with me. And that's enough for me, because you're never going to have 100% of people supporting you and agreeing with you. And I have been trolled since I've been 15 doing social media, so I don't care. Someone could tell me I don't look nice or what I'm saying is rubbish, and I just look at it and I'm like, you're bringing me views, you're bringing me engagement, so I don't mind.
Keep it moving, 100%. All right then, cool. So another question for you then. For a female that's out there that, let's say, she taps more into her masculine frame, how would you recommend that she goes about tapping into her feminine side a bit more? Like, how does she get back over to that side? Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, I've actually got a book on this, and some of the things that I say is, one, hanging around feminine women, not just women but feminine women. And also I think women that are in relationships hang around with women that are in relationships, not just your single friends, because they have a different outlook on life. And myself, I don't really have any feminine friends, but my gran is very feminine, and I feel like that's maybe where I got it from, because my mum is masculine and my sister's not very feminine, so two different sides. I'd also say, like, actually take yourself out shopping and go and buy some nice clothes. And one thing I always say is, when you look good, you feel good. And you're going to attract men, you're going to attract women, you're going to attract opportunities. If you look not nice, you just sat in the corner, like, no one's going to really look at you. You need to look nice, you need to smell nice. I tell you guys, I told Ty that you guys smell really nice. Cheers. I told you your tracksuit look nice.
Thank you.
It's that you makes you stand out. Like, why would you not want to look good when you can look good every day? Look good if you can.
100%.
Look good, feel good, man.
100%. Appreciate it. Just jumping in as well, would you say that self-care is a feminine thing, feminine trait? Like, what's your views on that?
No, I don't think it is at all, because I've been with men and I've seen men that don't shower all the time, don't brush their teeth and stuff, and it's gross. It's off-putting.
Whoa.
Not every day, and it's gross. And then you might be with a man or a friend or someone who showers every day and brushes his teeth, and you realize how much it is a turn on and how important it is for men. It's not feminine at all. Men need to look after their hands, their feet, a skincare routine, their hair, everything. I feel like it's just as important for men and women.
I don't know who came up with the self-care things, feminine, what, does man just aren't meant to look after themselves? What's going on?
I don't understand.
I don't know who came up with that, to be honest with you.
That's crazy. Let me just jump in as well, just digest what you said. So you got man out here not brushing their teeth, and they got the babes lying next to them. That is crazy to me. What the hell? No Colgate inside. That's mad. Man, them, you're hearing it first. We always trying to drop the gems, but you're here seeing Bexy dropping the gems. Feminine women telling you firsthand.
That's the first gem of the day. Brush your teeth. Brush your teeth.
Brush your teeth. Or even on a bigger note, though, self-care and self-hygiene is imperative, do you know what I mean, to just not only just you and your journey, but when it comes to you attracting women and stuff like that, it means a lot. And it's like the little things. Bexy didn't say, oh, you have to have a designer belt or you have to be making this. She just said you got to brush your teeth morning and night. It's not that hard, do you know what I mean? So when you kind of do these small acts of self-hygiene on a regular basis, you'll see the great results and effects that happen, do you know what I mean?
100. All right then, cool. So taking the conversation somewhere else now, we always say opposites attract. So if you're a feminine woman, I'm guessing when it's time for you to look for a man, you're looking for a masculine man, right?
Yeah.
All right then, definitely. Cool. So how do you spot the traits of a masculine man?
That's a good question.
One thing I must say, is that women believe that if they're feminine, they might attract feminine men, but I don't attract feminine men. If you're truly a feminine woman, you will only attract masculine men. A masculine man is someone who has ambition. They don't necessarily have to be rich, but they have to be striving towards something and every single day and thinking of new ideas. I think that is the most important for a man who has ambition, is not just comfortable in Tesco's or something. Because we look at the bigger picture as women. We look at a man who can potentially be a provider down the line and look after us. Another one is he like you said, the hygiene thing, I think that is really important. It might not be considered as a masculine trait, but I think it really is. He has to be a leader as well. So if I had a YouTube idea, I'd want to be able to go to you and say, I've got this idea, what do you think? I want you to think that you're important, and what you think about what I do is most important. So I want to come to you because I trust your opinion. So you need to lead. You also need to say, do you know what, we're going to go here. I've booked this at this time. Let's go. Or where do you want to go? Like, what holiday do you want to go to? I want to go to Spain. I've booked it. Let's go. Not just, what do you want to do? It's up to you. I don't mind. Women are going to go elsewhere. That we want you to be strong and have a foundation. I don't think men need to have that many qualities. Like, women will list so many qualities for a man to have, but I just think he needs to be that hygienic, ambitious. I need to be able to go to you and trust you, and you need to take the lead. I feel like that is the most important things as a man.
The founding four, like that's the foundation is basically what you're saying. And I agree, you know, because I feel like the underlying point you're trying to say is that a man just has to be on his purpose, and he also has to be secure in his direction. You know what I mean? Like, you can't be out here being insecure as a man and not kind of aware of your own value and what you provide. Or like, you know how you get guys who are like, oh, my day is like, I'm with a pretty girl, now I'm insecure, checking all the comments and doing all that. That's not showcasing masculine energy or showing someone that's kind of secure in their frame. Do you know what I mean? Because why is your value dictated by someone else? Do you know what I mean? We literally said last episode that, and you can bring it outside of this whole masculine and feminine trait, like someone's success or what someone is doing here doesn't mean that I have to be doing less as a result. So you could be engaging with a pretty woman, but just because she's a pretty attractive woman doesn't mean to say that now you have to be insecure and looking at yourself in an insecure way. Do you know what I mean? What do you think?
I'm gonna touch on it after, but I'm gonna say, here I am again with another Nipsey quote. You know, I'm always touching on Nipsey. One thing that I saw Nipsey said, and I think he got this from the Bible, is that children and women can be careless, men can't be careless. That's what I saw in the Bible. Well, not from the Bible, I saw Nipsey said that from the Bible. And I thought that was interesting still. Not to say that females can get away with being careless, but I feel like, especially as a man, you need to make sure that all corners are covered. Do you get me? Like, you need to look ahead and be able to spot any dangers that could come against your family, innit? Do you get me? And when I saw that, I was like, yeah, that's true still, that you can't be careless as a man. I don't feel like you should be careless as a female either, but especially as a man, like, you need to take lead. And I feel like you can't be a leader following a leader. Do you get me? So you need to be your own biggest boss, innit? That's what I see. So,
facts. And I definitely agree, because basically what you're saying is that opposites attract. And I said this in a previous episode, that like, you as a feminine woman, you're naturally attracted to a masculine man because it's the opposite side of the polarity scale. So it wouldn't be a man who's a bit neutral or who embodies more feminine energy that you would be attracted to, because naturally the energies, you can't be yin and yang. Do you know what I mean? It's only yin and yang.
I've got another question for you actually though. Do you feel like it's possible to be both masculine and feminine at the same time? Like, do you feel like it would be healthy for a female or a male to tap into both sides?
Do you know what? I think to some extent, I feel like there is a small bit. Women need to be like mostly feminine with a tiny bit of masculine. Same with men, the opposite way around. But when it overpowers, that's when it's awful. Like, for example, as a woman, for me, I mostly am cooperative. I let the man take the lead and stuff. But if there's something I don't agree on, or I can see something would work a different way around, I might step in a tiny bit as like taking the lead. Do you get what I mean? But I'm not going to scream and shout and swear and stuff. That's where I think sometimes a bit of masculine energy in a woman is okay, but mostly it has to be feminine, and then the other way around as well.
So if we're talking percentage, you're talking like 90% feminine, 10% masculine.
Yeah, I literally think it's that much.
Okay.
I agree as well. You know, even on the flip end, like being a guy, I feel like you can, like me, for example, I say that I'm an emotional man, which is obviously emotion being a feminine trait, but I don't act on my emotion all the time. Does that make sense? So I can still be in my masculine, still have feminine energy, but just choose when and where should I say, to kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Act on how I feel. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like I'm pretty sure I said this before, like, you know, I'm always got my head in the books, the way they spirit man. It says the biggest testament of a man's character is to feel the fear and do it anyway. So you can almost feel emotional, feel how you feel towards your woman, but you don't necessarily have to act on it and give her attitude or start an argument based off emotion and shit. Do you know what I mean? I feel like that's when I
think that's the best kind of man, the man that is in touch with his emotions but doesn't act on his emotions, because there's some men that just are too aggressive and don't understand that women act on emotions, and it's not going to change us the way that we've been made, and then you know, they know how to deal with it. So I think that's important.
I got a point to touch on that though, because this is a thing that a lot of people say men act on logic, females act on emotion, and that's how it actually goes in it. But I feel like sometimes females use that I act on my emotion card to get away with certain things. You understand what I mean? Like, what do you mean? Okay, cool. I hear you operate. Your operating system is based on emotions, and that's absolutely fine. That's how you're wired. But that doesn't mean you still don't have logic. You still have a logic, and you still know how to maneuver through situations. So it's not like every single scenario you can blame your emotions. Like sometimes when that comes up, I'm like, what are you talking about? Do you get me? What do you think?
I don't know.
Because obviously that's a female's natural state of being. They're emotional creatures. Understandable, completely get it. But you can't use that every single time. That's like us saying, we're logical now, yeah? You've disrespected me, so I've acted on a disrespect. That's what you do to someone that disrespects you. That's a logical thing to do.
Yeah.
Do you get me?
True, I agree. When you put it like that, I agree, because even on the flip side now, it's the same way. Like, who was I saying this to yesterday? Like, at the end of the day, you can feel the fear and not do it anyway. So you have to talk to your woman or your partner, whatever the situation may be, in a language that she understands. So if she understands emotion, there's no point you reacting like you're saying, like logic. Same way, vice versa. Now you're putting it that way. I do agree in a sense where, as a woman, just because emotion is your foundation doesn't mean to say that everything you do your boyfriend's come home from work and he's tired, so he just wants to go to bed, and now you're crying. Do you know what I mean? Like, you have to have the balance and choose. You have to speak to people
in their language. Do you understand what I mean? You can't expect someone to understand you when you're speaking in your own language. Let's just say someone that can only speak with sign language. I'm not going to speak to them like through my mouth because they can't understand it. You get me? And I feel like it's the same thing. So yeah, man, stop using that emotional card for your benefit. You get me?
I got a question. What steps have you taken, Bexy, to become like a feminine woman? So like, obviously, you know, on the podcast we like to give gems, and we've got a big female audience as well. Let's say there's a young girl who's 17 years old. She's embodying more masculine traits because she's mirroring what her mother, the traits her mother has, for example, as a single woman, but she wants to be a bit more feminine. How does she get there? So she's here embodying masculine traits by situation and environment, but she wants to be here, which is a feminine woman in touch in that side. How does she get there?
So even me, I've always been quite feminine, but my mum's masculine, so there was some things that I would take from her, like not being peaceful. She would always say, you're always right, a man's always wrong. So I would always argue to the point where he gave up and ran away. And that's not good. So you need to get around people who have the results that you want. So if you see someone who is feminine or someone who has the kind of man that you want, learn from them and study them. That's like with anything, isn't it? If you see someone that has the results, study from them. So I'd say that is really important. Stop going to your masculine friends and your single friends for advice. I think that's really important. Certain things you can go to them for, but when it comes to relationships and femininity, why are you going to go and ask your masculine friend or your friend that is single? Like, you're not going to get the answers that you want. And like I said, when you look good, you feel good, because then you're going to attract the right man. You're going to feel good inside. And the most important thing, just learning how to be peaceful and just going along with what the man says. Not all the time, but often you might have to just go along with what he's saying, because if you trust him to be that leader and you see a big future with him, he knows what he's doing, and you don't want to demasculinize him and try to make him feel like he's wrong. So get around feminine women.
That's crazy, you know. You gonna jump in?
Yeah, I got something to say then. All right, then cool. That's so crazy. I can see already people in the comments, females in the comments.
I was just about to say, that's what I was thinking.
I can see people in the comments saying, all right, cool. As a feminine woman, you're meant to be agreeable, right? What if I actually don't agree with my man? What if he's leading me in the wrong direction? I can see females in the comments already saying that. Do you get me? So what would you say to that?
It's the way you go about it. So if there's something you don't agree on, just be like, hey Tay, look, listen, I don't really agree on that. I think this. What do you think about this? Rather than, you're wrong, why are you saying that? It's the way you go about it. When it comes to like your future and stuff like that, if you actually see a future with the guy, most of the time he knows what he's doing. So sometimes you just have to trust what he's saying and go along with it, and then that's going to allow him to give back to you as well. I think women think that I favour men, but I just understand the way things are supposed to be, and I see where you guys are coming from, and I've experimented with it and stuff, and it's a much easier way. But
I'm with you.
Yeah,
I'm with you. All right, then cool. Let's touch away from the femininity, masculinity.
Yeah, I got one more question.
All right, go on then, my boy.
I have to. Yeah. What does femininity mean to you? So before, you know, in the whole not recorded whatnot, yeah, you saying that like nurturing, being submissive to a certain extent. But if you had to give it like a set definition, what does that look like to you?
Feminine energy to me is relaxing and just being rather than doing. The man is the one that's doing, and we should just be. And it just kind of feels like you're floating on air and you're high on life. That's what I feel like a woman should be like, without trying to strive to be the best at something. That's, in like a simple term, that's what I would say. And just being like a fairy, you know, like just being floaty.
I hear you.
Sure.
I hear you. All right, then, cool. So, femininity, masculinity, one side. You said you're also an animal activist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what does that even mean? Because I don't even know what that. What does that mean?
So I'm not like one of those people that stand outside Canada Goose.
Yeah.
But not so much now, but I post about animals and just educating people, because some people have no idea. You're brought up to believe that meat is good for you and all that kind of stuff, but you don't know the other side. So I just want to educate people on the health side of things and also what happens to animals. But I feel like people will listen more when they see the health side of things, because it directly affects them, and then they'll see the animal side of things. But yeah, I just want people to see that animals don't deserve the mass slaughtering and the abuse that they get every single day, just being born to be killed for your 5-minute pleasure.
I'm with you.
That's crazy.
I'm with you.
Go on, let me jump in. Cool.
On.
So you were saying about like being an animal activist and stuff like that, and you said that people don't know the facts. Like, what are the facts? So for me, I don't know too much about like maybe the process or like slaughterhouses and stuff. Like, what? Drop some gems about that. Do you know what I mean?
The stage is yours. Your audience is yours. Tell them what they need to know.
So an animal is born in a slaughterhouse. Imagine being born there rather than out in the field in the nature. Imagine the fear that they go through, knowing that they're going to die because they see it around them all the time. And then that energy in the slaughterhouse that goes through the animal whilst it's being milked or killed, you then have to eat that, and you're going to eat that energy. So that's why I don't believe that people that eat animals.
Don't make me turn into a bloody eating grass.
I just personally don't think people that eat animals can be spiritual, because you've got that negative energy and that dark energy inside of you. And there's a lot to it, like dairy cows, what they go through, like being born, and then the calf gets taken away from the mother as soon as it's born, doesn't even get to say bye, and you see the cow crying. And I don't know, I just have always been in touch with that side, and I just think like it's so sad. And I just feel like we're living here like right now, but imagine like a slaughterhouse right now, what they're going through. And like imagine that was you and your family, like us in a slaughterhouse, one of us being picked up and being taken to be on someone's plate. Like there's so much things you can eat, and the most natural things that you can eat are fresh fruit and fresh vegetables grown from the ground. Like you can survive. Like people use food as pleasure, I think, when there's other pleasures to have in life.
I'm with you. All right, then, cool. But then some people can say, all right, there's this whole food chain thing. So let's talk about the animal kingdom now, yeah? There's lions that will eat gazelles. There's gazelles that will eat rabbits, or whatever the case may be, yeah? So someone may say to you, all right, cool, so how comes animals within the animal kingdom are eating other animals, but we can't?
You
That's
know,
a good point.
There's a video where there's a lion, and there's a plate of fruit in front of it, and it will sniff it and go away. It won't eat it. We'll eat other things. And animals, their brain is not like ours. They don't really know the difference between certain things. Like they see an animal, they kill it, they act on instinct. You know, they'll want to do it. Like they need it. They have canines, and people say we do, but if you look at a picture of our teeth and lion's teeth, they're really long, you know what I mean? Like ours are just, they're kind of all the same when you compare them. And we're just different as humans. Like we're wired differently. Like animals need that to survive.
So we have the option. Animals don't really have the option.
And it's not mass slaughtering as well, is it? It's like...
I do think that's interesting though, just jumping in. You know I'm a deep guy, do you know what I mean? So like 2 years ago, when I kind of like had this spiritual awakening and whatnot, I was doing a lot of research, and one of the things is about like the foods we eat and stuff. And like to your point about teeth, do you not just find it interesting how like you look at like a lion, a jaguar, whatever in the wild, their teeth and their body is built for that environment, so it's built to kill other carnivores and stuff like that, like you said about the rabbit in the animal kingdom, but then our teeth are straight. But how can you tell us like we're naturally meant to eat meat? Because wouldn't our bodies be built for that? You know what I mean, I'm not saying that every human has some mad fangs and that, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, but don't you feel like that's where evolution comes into it though? because at one point we wasn't really in a civilized society where we have a nice warm house and go to Tesco and get chicken. Like at one point, I'm guessing we was inside the jungle, and I'm guessing there's people inside the jungle, and their body's more facilitated towards actually killing animals. You get me?
I don't. Just jump in. I don't know the facts in it. I'm not even like on some.
No, I'm asking.
But it's just interesting because, like you said about how evolution has evolved and we have as like a civilization and whatnot. Yeah. But then, like, just because I want to say like the industrialization area on like phones and shit. You know what I mean? I know what you mean. Yeah. Just because we got phones and we got Tesco and a big Asda. Yeah. But then look back 300-400 years ago. Yeah. The same example you said about people who was like out in the wild. Our teeth were still the same, were they not? So how?
I don't think they actually probably were, to be honest. Like they're trained. How are they gonna eat, bro? They have to kill.
But that's my point. Where they're killing animals or where they're just eating fruit and shit, like Bex was saying, you know what I mean?
I don't know, innit? I don't know.
It's interesting, isn't it?
I don't know. I hear what you're saying still. I don't know.
It's an interesting one. So how long have you like not been eating meat?
I was gonna say that. Is it been like throughout your whole life?
Vegan for 4 years. No meat for 15 years and no fish for 20 years. So basically it's a lifestyle for me, and I'm alive, I'm healthy, I'm fit, so.
See, me, I just feel I don't know how you do that. I don't eat pork. I stopped eating pork.
Yeah,
I figured out pork was nasty. I stopped eating pork for like 2-3 years now. But when it comes to my chicken, my fish and that,
everyone says that it's the chicken that they love.
Yeah, but cool. What do you actually eat then? So instead of, what is it, like that corn?
No, that is just gross.
Yeah. So what is it that you eat? I don't get it.
So this is like a normal day for me. So in the morning, smoothie, seeds in there, sea moss fruit. Spring water, that's good. Spring water only, because other water has got fluoride in it and it comes from scary places. At lunch, I will have a bowl of vegetables. I'll chop up different vegetables, put some seeds in there, and chickpeas mostly, just so I know that the first half of my day I've actually got good stuff inside me. Yeah. Then later on, some fruit. I might have a snack. Like I'm not a what's it called, alkaline, I don't eat alkaline diet, but I eat as natural as possible. So then I might have like a vegan protein bar or something like that, and then in the evening I'll have some fruit and veg again. But then then when I go out, I can eat chips if I want, or I can eat a vegan pizza or something. So I just make sure at home I eat as natural as possible and as good as possible, so that if I do go out I don't feel bad.
I'm with you. This vegan life's expensive though, Imagine my dad don't eat any fish. Yeah, you don't eat any meat. You don't eat any meat. He only eats fish. Yeah. So I went KFC the other day. I got my whole snack box. I got my popcorn chicken, my wings. My dad said, get me a vegan burger. I said, alright, cool, no problem. I'm going there, a burger's £5 for a burger. I said, what? This vegan life's expensive.
It is, isn't it?
I can't lie to you.
There's a reason why as well. Like, me, like I said, I'm a deep guy. So like,
£5 for a burger, that's crazy.
Do you not think that's mad? So like, that's the way society is set up. Fast food, all these shit foods. Let's even take away from like the whole meat. Just talk about the foods we're eating. Yeah, processed meat. McDonald's, you can get a meal for about £2.99. Yeah, but then if you want to get ingredients for like a smoothie, for example, like you want to buy a pack of fruit, it's like £4.
Yeah,
like why is that? And then I'm always asking the next question, which is why is it priced this way? Clearly they want us to be eating the meat and the low kind of vibrational foods and the processed meats, but the natural healthy shit is like 3-4 times expensive. Literally, you're giving an example now. Why is it? Probably cost them less to make the vegan burger than it did to make the popcorn chicken. Do you know what I mean?
Vegetables, it's like you said, it's low vibrational food. It keeps people at a low vibration, and then they can't think different to other people. That's one reason. Then the other one is to keep everyone fat. And then the knock-on effects from that.
This is going deep, innit? So like, I'm always thinking like, why? I'm always thinking why. Do you know what I mean? So even when you're eating meat, like I put my hands up, I eat meat, do you know what I mean? Like I'll yam the curry good, do you know what I mean? I'm eating it, do you know what I mean?
If Coles was here, you would have gone to you.
Yeah, you would. Oh yeah.
Shut up, my boy.
Anyways, I'm not a vegetarian, I used to be pescatarian for 2 years. And what am I trying to say? And then I used to just think to myself, like say if I'm seasoning chicken or mince or whatever to go and cook now, and it's just bare bloody. I'm thinking, rah, like this is an actual.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like we've been desensitized to the fact this is actual like living. This was a living being that's been chopped up. So mince is just intestines or some shit. That's mad. Not think that's tap, bro. Like
that's why I don't like going to the meat shop. I'll be honest. Mummy goes to the meat shop because when you go in there, you see a horse's head or their foot. I'm like, what? Slow down. Is that what people eat?
They put extra crap in there, and the animals that people eat, they are not usually fed grass and stuff like that. They're fed other dead animals and rubbish and stuff that goes inside you, and then that you know, that's what you're eating. Or if they do eat grass, you can go directly to the plants and get that. You don't need to have an animal in between.
Yeah. One thing I've always thought to myself though, is every time like I eat a big meal, and normally my meals consist of meat, I'm tired after it.
Yeah.
I'm mad tired after it.
You feel a bit fatigued and just...
I'm ready to fatigue.
You ever had the itis?
Yeah,
you know, good food, you know what I mean? Planted and whatnot.
I'm ready to sleep. It's not even fatigue. I'm going to sleep. Do you get me?
Yeah.
So I've always wondered like, why is that? Because I'm guessing like when you eat, what did you say, your chickpeas and your vegetables, you don't really feel tired after that. I'm guessing.
No. Even when I have like chips or something, I feel slumped after that, and that's not even meat. But then when I eat fruit and veg, I feel energized. So you can see the difference.
That's what I'm saying. It's deeper than that. Do you know what I mean? It's the energy that sits within the food. And even on another note, you know when people are like, oh yeah, you need to eat chicken to get protein, but where do the chickens themselves get the protein from?
Yeah.
Are they not eating seeds and maybe fruits and shit? I don't know exactly what they eat, but you know the point I'm trying to make, like they've got that protein, etc., from a source. So instead of going through cut the middle, man, just go to the source. Do you know what I mean? But society wants us to be eating KFC and McDonald's and a Nando's and whatnot. Do you know what I mean? And you have to ask why.
It's a money system as well, isn't it?
Yeah, that's tapped.
Cool. So then you touched on 2 out of the many things that you do. I forgot what else you do. So feminine, masculine, coaching. Energy, boom.
Yeah, the coaching, that mindset, and let's touch spirituality.
On that. Yeah.
So talk to me about like where did that begin and where you're trying to go with it as well.
So I used to not have the mindset I did a couple of years ago. So I just think it's important for me to help other people that are in my old situation or just don't think the way that I think. So yeah, that's my main goal, to help people. So
where can people find you to get some coaching? Give yourself a little cheeky plug.
My website, which is bexylucy.com, and then my link tree is on my Instagram. My Instagram is bexylucy and my TikTok. So yeah, I feel like people need to invest in themselves. Like people won't even buy a book that's £10. The information, you've read that book about 10 times.
Yeah.
Like, I've always posted that book.
Imagine how much that's like benefited your life. And some people won't even spend £10, but they'll spend £10 on Nando's. KFC. Or they'll go out to the club, but they won't invest in themselves, and they'll be in the same position. That was me. And then when I started to invest in myself with mentors, books, networking and all those things, that's when life really excels. But people watch your stuff, they'll screenshot, they'll watch podcasts all day, but then they'll sit in bed and they'll watch Netflix and they'll go to the club. They don't take action. And that's the biggest thing. People need to actually take the action. Take the action. If it fails, you've learned something. If it works, then that's good.
Yeah, I hear it still.
So with your coaching, is it just for mindset specifically, or is there like the femininity option that you were talking about before? So do you do that as well in your coaching?
Yeah, so it's like 3 different parts. So it's like mindset, so anything to do with mindset, manifestation, spirituality. Second is dating and relationships. So even men, I have men that find it hard to get women, or they need help understanding women. I help men as well. And femininity as well, women that want to become a high value woman and just want to tap into their feminine side. Like I have clients that actually have boyfriends that want to learn how to be more feminine. So yeah, those 3 kind of topics, and then
I got a point I want to debate you on though.
Yeah, you guys speak. I want to find a video that actually relates to this, and it's crazy. You lot speak. I need to find this video.
I wasn't saying. So this book you mentioned that I'm always reading. So it's The Way This P.M. Man by David Dada. I read it 8 times. I just finished it last week. Even just touching on this book specifically, I feel like it's good to read, and following on from what Bexy said, like take action, because where I've read this book so many times now, I'm able to actually retain a lot of the information, and I've actively applied a lot of the gems from the book into my everyday life. Do you know what I mean? So in the book it says what she says is not always what she means. So tying that back into you and your mentoring with like men specifically, say for guys coming to get a consultation call or meeting with you, for example, and you're saying, you know, maybe based, I don't know what it is you specifically do or like your schedule, whatever, but you could say to them, for example, based off of my experiences as a feminine woman, these components would attract me to a man. Is everything that you would say, I'm not saying that you're saying things that you don't necessarily mean, but I find a lot of the time with women, what they do say is not necessarily what they mean. Do you know what I mean? So an example of that could be, I don't know, I'm pretty sure you said on your snap the other day that sometimes a man could just be boring, but a woman will just say, oh yeah, I'm not interested in you, but really it's not that she's not interested, she is interested in you, but you're just a boring ass guy. Do you know what I mean? So where does that come into play? And do you feel like there has been times where, I don't want to say I'm not trying to catch you out or say you said things you don't mean, but do you know what I'm trying to say? Because that's from my experiences. Sometimes women don't always mean 100% of what they say. Do you know what I mean?
I get what you mean. Yeah, a lot of the time women don't really like confrontation, really. So they'll say, I'm fine, or don't worry, or I can do it myself, or, you know, and then that's kind of like, they need to be in their feminine energy and just be vulnerable and just express themselves. Like, I think being expressive is very important as well, because once you identify a problem or an issue, then the man is going to help you with that. That's what I think. And I feel like, a lot of women, I don't know what it is, but like, that's how I used to be. And the past couple of years I've been trying to get over it, but we just would rather like leave the situation and like run away without actually discussing it. So a lot of women might say something. Another example is women, they might see a nice man on the street and they'll be in their head thinking, I like him. He don't know you like him. You could have a screwed up face, but in their head they just automatically think that you need to like them without saying anything. That's another example. So some men just need to like think like, okay, what should I do? What do I think I should do? Try it. And even if the woman says opposite, then at least you've tried.
What do you think?
I'm just getting back into the conversation. I was trying to find
what was the video? What was the video?
No, basically it was a video of a couple. It was a couple, and then the wife was a very, very, very masculine woman. So when she's asking for a kiss, she's like, "Aye, bro, come give me a kiss right now, bro." I was like, "What?" So I was trying to show that video. I'm gonna see if I can find it. We'll put it in the episode.
That is crazy.
It was too funny. I'm gonna try and find it. We'll put it in the episode itself. But what did I miss on the conversation? Actually,
basically, Bex, we were just saying that at the end of the day, a lot of the time, what I was trying to make a point that sometimes what a woman says is not always what she means. When we talk about that with Austin and Wade's Prayer Man episode, and then Bex, we were just saying that it kind of goes into the point how women will be like, you could be at an event, at a brunch, at a club, and you'll see a guy that you're attracted to, but you won't do anything. You'll just expect the guy to then make the move based off how you feel up here, but you haven't showed him any way that you're attracted to him. And I thought, that's facts. Do you know what I mean?
A lot of women do that. Women do that all the time, you know.
I find
like
that odd.
I posted the other day saying to women, like, if you think a man looks nice, just because he doesn't approach you doesn't mean he didn't like you or you're ugly. It just, I don't know, maybe he just didn't feel confident, or he thought like, I can't be bothered, because men probably get rejected so many times each day. So like I said, say, oh, you look nice, or that's a nice perfume, or you know, just small things like that, so that he knows, you know what, she's interested. Smile at him and say like, have a nice day or something. Like women need to give the man a little bit of like identification as to how they're feeling, and then he can just give him like a little clue, and then he can continue to take the lead.
Act on it. No, I hear it still.
Wouldn't you say that, it's okay, building off that, would you in your personal experiences ever like, I don't say pursue, like initiate conversation with a man? Would you chase a guy?
I would start it off like, I would follow a man. I might even DM first on the street. I wouldn't necessarily say like, I want you, but you know, I might just say, hey, you okay, or something like that. So it's like small and innocent, because most women wouldn't do that. But I wouldn't do the whole thing. No, but I'd give small. I would give small clues. I
like that because I feel like a lot of girls, they just walk in expecting a man to approach them. Do you get me? That's what a lot of girls do. And I've got to the point now where, you know, when you're younger, you see a girl, I can't walk past this girl without at least getting a snap or something. You understand me? But now I've got to the point where it's not every day trying to chirp a girl, trying to move to a girl. Like,
it's not, man.
It's not that at all. Do you get me? But then again, that when a girl shows that she's interested, I don't have no problem.
No, 100% agree, and even expand on that as well. sometimes, I said this in, I think it's the first 3 episodes we did, one of them, and I was like, sometimes as a guy, you can just live. Like, I was speaking to my brother about this, my brother's 29, and he was just saying, sometimes you can just be living, bro. You don't always have to be moving to girl. Like, sometimes.
That was me when I was younger.
Yeah, me and you both, bro.
I cannot, like, I'd feel something inside of me if I walked past a girl without trying to speak to her. Yeah. Like, I'd actually feel it in my chest, like, why did I not speak to her?
Yeah. But I feel like it's about being abundant. Like, there's millions of people, billions of women out here. Like, this one on the road that is in my area in a local co-op, I don't have to drop the maddest game. Do you know what I mean? I could just get my chicken and this.
You know what's good though? Because we went through it when we was young, so at least we know that it's nothing to do it, but it's just that we don't have to do it. Do you understand what I mean? Because I feel like that's an important part of being a man, that being able to speak to females. Not a lot of men actually know how to do that, you know.
Yeah, that is huge.
What's your experience with that? I'm sure you have guys meet you like.
I think the initial thing is the most important thing, because that's whether you're gonna actually get her or not. Don't think about what dates you're gonna do and stuff. You need to think about the first thing, and it doesn't even necessarily mean that you have to have a good social media. It's like what you say. It's what you say is, or it's your social media and how you look.
I'm with you.
For me, not even for me, because obviously we're separate, so like as a woman, that's your experiences. I think as a guy, to put himself in the best chance to talk to a girl, it's not necessarily about even what you say, it's how you say it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I could even say, if I'm in, I don't know, let's say Box Park, for example, there's a bit of a motive, the man them out, and I'm seeing a cute girl I want to talk to, I could even accidentally, I don't know, barge into her by accident and be like, oh, like, why are you in my way? But it's the way I say it, do you know what I mean? If I'm saying it in a jokey way, you know, strong eye contact, do you know what I mean? Compared to being like, oh yeah, why are you in my, do you know what I mean? Like, you don't know what I'm trying to say. It's the way your tone of voice and things like that matter more so than the actual content of what you're saying, sometimes anyways.
You see, you just accidentally barging into girls.
You're like, oh, sorry.
I didn't need to do that. Yeah, I hear it.
Nah, not even, man. But
I hear it.
Interesting, man.
But yeah, on the way out though.
No, wait.
What, have you still got more?
No, do you have any questions for us? Because I'm trying to change the narrative, do you know what I mean?
It's not every day asking the guest questions.
It's not.
Yeah, so if you have any questions, talk to us.
Oh wow,
Take the stage.
I've got 2. I'm gonna do one at a time.
Cool.
I want to know what you both look for in a wife. Not a girlfriend, a wife.
You go first, bro.
Wow, why are you passing it to me?
You go
first,
first, bro. Yeah, that's you.
Oh, God damn.
A wife, you know, that's
what I look for in a wife. All right, cool. Let me just put this out there. I've never actually looked for a wife. But if I went out there to go and find a wife, some qualities that I would look for is that, all right, cool. Number 1, she knows how to cook. Number 1, she knows how to clean that. Not even necessarily a house. Of course, that plays a part, but also clean herself, make sure she's high on personal hygiene. I'd say that she's got her own set of morals that she stands on. I'd say that she's got a good family background, and I'd say that she's in a good financial position. She don't need to be rich, wealthy, but she's just got a stable income coming in, and so I'd say still. That's what I'd say. I can't really think of anything else still.
For
right
me,
now, I ain't looked for a wife before.
Yeah, happy you at first. Give me some time to. Boy, I would say the traits I look for in a wife is a supportive woman, an ambitious woman, because I feel like the lifestyle I kind of have, I wouldn't want to be out here working hard, and then the babies are just Netflix all day. Like, you don't have to necessarily be a grafter, but you have to kind of at least help me and my graft, or have your own type of ambition. I would say. Feminine, that's the key trait from today's topic of discussion. And for the final thing I'd probably say is a family woman. And it's not even necessarily the way you interact with children, that plays a big part, because I want kids, so I want to see the way you interact with kids. But also, like, I know this is kind of taking it somewhere else. I feel like whenever you marry someone, you don't just marry the individual, you marry the family. Do you know what I mean?
You need to have a good family background.
And it means a lot. Like, even me and my family, looking at other dynamics, it's like when you're getting with that person, you're getting with the traits and the principles that their family has, for example. So it's deeper than just you and your woman. So I'd like to say, are you a family woman? Are you close to your family? If not, why? Is there some trauma that could have went on there? If we was to get married and have kids now, you're projecting your traumas from how your dad treated you to how you treat our son in this example. Do you know what I mean? So that would mean a lot to me. And also, like you said, I don't want to say the basics, but like just knowing how to, I feel like a woman makes a house a home, do you know what I mean? So it's deeper than just cooking and cleaning, like bringing a family together, nurturing, do you know what I mean? Being a bit of like a support all these things. That's what I would say.
Good answer, still.
Yeah,
Give me some
that's
more
good.
time to think. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
After
yeah.
you went first. Still. What
You
about
know, Ty, how you said that a woman should be ambitious? That's exactly what I said on a video.
Yeah.
And some men were saying, no, that's a masculine trait. And what you said, they don't have to like strive to be the best, but just have some sort of ambition and not just want to sit at home and take
Yeah.
the man's money. Like, just have your bit on the side or be striving to do something as well. I think that's important, but
Yeah.
a lot of men disagreed with me on that. But I guess it depends what kind of man you are.
What do you think?
Me personally, I want my woman to be ambitious, definitely.
Why?
Because we said it in the last episode, you need to be around people that's got the same traits, the same beliefs as you do. Do you understand what I mean? So
Yeah.
if you're out here very ambitious and you're striving towards greatness, and your woman isn't actually doing that, sometimes it feel like you're pulling your woman.
Yeah.
So you're pulling your woman in your direction when you can't pull no one.
That's why
That's
you're
what
my
I said.
bro, because you literally said everything to the T,
it's
how
not
I would
so-
say it, do you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, it's not like you have to be some big go-getter saleswoman. There's nothing wrong with that if you are, but you don't, that's not a compulsory, but just to have the mental trait of wanting to better your situation, that will help me in my direction.
Even if it's a 9 to 5, that's fine. But
Yeah,
as long
that's
as
fine.
You've got an ultimate vision that you're working towards, then
100%.
that's rock.
Like you said with the example, like a man has to have ambition. Like your current job in Tesco, for example, is just not. It's not the end. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this is a step towards. This is a means towards an end, but it's not the end. Do you know what I mean? And I also feel like if I'm talking to or engaging with a woman, say if I wanted to be my wife and she's not ambitious, that would just put me off a bit, because like I said, I'm so ambitious that I want you to run with me. I'm happy to do all the legwork. I'm happy to be a provider as a man, but come on now, like help me with some ideas or something now, or have your own thing going on. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I would
that was
say.
the first question. What was it?
Another one is,
And you're answering this first.
it's a different kind of subject. So when you first
That's
thought about
jokes.
this podcast,
Yeah.
how long did it take you from your first initial idea to actually doing it? And what advice would you give anyone that wants to start something but is just procrastinating quite a lot?
Ooh. So now spotlight's on me. I'm going first.
Run it.
How long? So that's like a two-part question. So our podcast, from when did we have the first conversation to basically the first episode or started making the moves,
Yeah.
and then our general advice to someone trying to like better the situation and take
Yeah.
action. So I'd say,
Quick process.
success loves speed. So I've said this in a previous episode. Me and Tay we only knew each other for like, I want to say about 2 months, even less than that. I'd probably say about 6
really?
weeks before we started the podcast. Yeah, we just had the idea. We initially met. I got my website business, as you know. He got a clothing brand. We met on a business level with that. Then we created a friendship, whatnot. We must have had a conversation about what do you want to do. Literally, the word podcast must have just came into the play somehow. Maybe I was watching one. I was like, "Yo, bro, would you ever do it?" He's like, "Yeah, I would." You know, like I've been wanting to do one, just never got around to it. I'm in the same boat, so I'm like, "Bro, that's it. Let's do it. Let's do it." So 100%, I'd say like within a month, we probably had a meeting.
Probably even
sat
less
down.
than that. Because remember that time we went shisha?
Yeah.
I think that's the first time we met each other outside of that first initial time.
Yeah,
that we
yeah,
met,
yeah.
And by then we already had the name.
Yeah,
Energizer.
even less. I'd say
Bare
about
busy.
2.5 weeks. I'm
Yeah.
not even gonna
That's
lie.
good.
Because we just like, and this is why me and you, like, on a separate note, we get on well because we're just take action. Do you know what I mean? All this talking is long. You want to do it, I want to do it. Let's start it and make it work. And then now we're here.
And I feel like it's important to never wait for the perfect conditions, because things are never going to be perfect. We could have said, all right, cool, we got to find the perfect studio. We got to make sure our bag's right. We got to find the right camera equipment. But we just jumped into it and figured
Yeah.
out how we went along. Like,
Literally.
don't get it twisted.
Facts.
That first episode, I think we even deleted the
Yeah,
first
it was
episode.
shit. It didn't come out,
dead.
do you know what I
You
mean?
get it? It was dead. But we learned from that and
Yeah.
we went from that. You
And
get
now
me?
we're
So-
here, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And I also feel like literally what you said, my bro, like you're never going to be in a perfect situation. I'm pretty sure I just started like a new job, so my money wasn't really where I wanted it to be. I'm throwing out another bill really to get this stuff up and running with like running costs and shit, but I did it. And then you learn as you go along. And then the second part,
Still learning as well.
still learning always. And then the second part, remind me of it. What was the second part? What would my advice be for those looking to take action on what they're doing?
Yeah, with anything, and they're just like procrastinating, like what would you, and then you can relate it to like your podcast.
I would just say, let me think what I'd say. I would just say that make the things that you want to do have a low barrier of entry or low cost of entry. So for example, for us to start doing a podcast, we didn't have to, it would be hard for me to be like, cool, I need £500 to book this and book this studio. For us to start working towards a podcast, we just had to have a conversation, and that's free. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So do things that are a low cost of entry towards your bigger goal. So people might think, oh yeah, I want to have my own property company. So you're thinking, I can't start until I've got $6,000 to put down. But no, you can start now by buying two books on Amazon, which is probably going to be £7.50, and calling up your uncle who owns a property. You've already started the journey now. Do you know what I mean? So just simply do things that are easy to do to get the ball rolling. That's what I would say. Your time, mate.
All right, mate. Say no more. What I would say though, is when it comes to procrastinating, don't always see that as a negative thing, because sometimes the fact that you're procrastinating so much shows that it may not even be something that you're really passionate about. Like, let's say with the podcast now, or even talking about Trendsetter, there was no real procrastinating there. So maybe that procrastination is a sign that this ain't aligning to your purpose right now. So if you are procrastinating for a long period of time, go back to the drawing board and figure out whether this is what you want to do. And if it is what you want to do, I reckon align yourself with people that's already doing it. Do you get me? I feel like that's the best way for you to really break through the industry, wherever you're in, whether you're trying to resell trainers, get into mentoring like you, find people that's actually doing it, learn from them and just start implementing. Do you get me? It's all good reading these books, but if you're reading these books and not doing anything from it, it's pointless. Do you get me? So just make the first step.
That's a big gem.
And even if it's not perfect the first time, that's cool. You learn from it. Do you get me? As I said already, the first podcast episode was dead. The first Trendsetter drop that I done was dead. I don't know why people bought it.
Website I made was dead.
Yeah, do you get me? So everything you're gonna do for the first time isn't gonna be the greatest, but you learn from it and you come again. Let me flip the question on you now. What do you reckon? So the same question that you gave us, what answer would you give to that for someone that's procrastinating on whatever they're doing right now?
Just take action. You don't need the perfect time and setting, like you both said. Like starting a YouTube, for example, you don't need a camera. You could literally do it against a wall in your room with your phone. There's people that are on thousands and thousands of subscribers, and they tell you that's what they did. You need to start anywhere and just do it and get around people who have the results that you want. Like you can learn and use people in a good way for anything, as long as you have some value to give back to them. So if someone's done something, ask them. A lot of people are scared to ask, and I think that's one of the main things.
Don't ask, you don't get.
Ask questions and make conversations. I posted yesterday a lot of successes and friendships start with a compliment. Someone complimenting how your mindset is, what you're wearing, and then it goes from there. But some people would just think they're too good, or they just too shy to say anything, and just speak up.
No, facts, that's a gem. So 100%. Wrapping up now, it's been a strong episode. We touched on a lot of topics. I enjoyed this one still. Yeah, I did, man. I learned a lot, animal kingdom or whatnot, femininity and whatnot. What's one gem looking back on the whole episode? So we done like a gem specific to your questions. Looking back on the whole episode, femininity, coaching, mindset, all that stuff. What is one gem you would give?
A practical gem that they can take and implement right now.
Yeah.
I would say work on your confidence, because once, I think that applies to everything, once you're confident, you don't care about what people think, so then you're more likely to start something. And if you have confidence, you can move to any girl you want. It's just everything starts with confidence, and just like having tunnel vision for what you want to do. If you want to be a wife, focus just on that. If you want to do a podcast, focus just on that. Don't worry about opinions. Stop going to everyone for opinions unless they have the results that you want.
Facts.
Go on.
Always me, mate.
Go on, run it up.
My gem would just be femininity. I'd say just do research. And the reason why I'd say that, even though it's different to my usual gems, is because you've actually put a seed in my mind now about this whole animal kingdom and stuff like that. So shit, I might be vegan, but I might be eating grass and chickpeas by the next episode, you know what I mean? But what I'm gonna do is go away and do my research, because it's not good to be ignorant. And I feel like what you made me realize is that I am being a bit ignorant. I know that necessarily slaughterhouses and stuff exist, but I don't know the extent of what's going on. So I would just say research.
Good one. I'd say on the back of the episode, just take time, I'd say. Yeah, take time, because obviously we spoke about relationships, being masculine, feminine, how you can appreciate a woman, cool, but take time to make sure that yourself is good. Do you understand what I mean? I feel like the best person you can work on and develop is yourself before you even think about relationships or how feminine you are towards a man or how masculine you are towards a woman. Make sure that you're right within yourself, and then once you're right within yourself, then go out there and find your one. That's what I'm saying. Still strong. Yeah.
Lovely having you as a guest.
Thanks, guys.
Tap in with us.
We're out. Yeah.